Good afternoon, my fellow citizens. My name is George Wilson from the Shepherd Heart Outreach Ministry. Also, I'm running for President of the United States of America. Vote Absolute Truth in 2020. This is my political view on today. Again, it's so good to see all of you. I pray that everyone is healthy and you're doing all the things that you are asked to do to stay safe, not only for yourself, but for your families and your friends and everybody that you're associated with. I want to applaud you guys that you're doing wonderful things to stay alive and to stay safe and stay healthy. Again, we also ask that if you know a neighbor or a friend or someone that is going through a hard time and can't get out, and you can get out, to reach and give them a helping hand and help them through this time as well, because we're all in this together. No matter how we see it, perceive it, no matter what walk of life you're from, you can be rich, you can be middle class, you can be poor or below average or whatever. We all in this together. It attacks the rich as well as the poor. There's so many deaths, and I can't begin to sympathize with all of those that have lost their loved ones, especially on this holiday, this Resurrection Day, this wonderful day of God's resurrection. And who knows, if this virus wasn't in place, that many of you would be with your loved ones right now in a resurrection service somewhere. Or for some of you that would say Easter service, you would be at an Easter service or dinner with a loved one. So my heart goes out to you all. Deepest condolences and sympathy to all of those that have lost their life to this coronavirus. I just want to let you know that even as a president, as candidate president of the United States, I feel what you feel because I'm a citizen myself, and I know what it's doing to other neighborhoods surrounding me. And I know what it's doing to the American people, and I know what the government is doing behind the scenes and how this thing came about. Again, my name is George Wilson. I am running for President of the United States of America and running as Commander-in-Chief and servant of the American people. I will serve you for the 4 years that I will have in office. You can guarantee that I will not leave anyone hanging or leave anyone out of the loop as long as I'm president. Also, you will also get absolute truth from me. Simply meaning there isn't a lie or deception or agenda that you will not know about that I will not inform you on. The American people has been lied to, hassled, haggled, mistreated, taken for granted by people just like us, but placed in higher office. And they've forgotten what it's like to be an average, everyday citizen going to a 9 to 5 or whatever the job, 12-hour jobs or whatever jobs that normal people go to, normal people have. They've forgotten what it's like to go to a regular blue-collar or white-collar job. They're in a position of power, so they've forgotten what it's like to struggle and to deal with issues. Because, like they say, with people with money, they think money buys everything, or money can take care of everything. Well, there's this coronavirus, your money can't buy you out of this sickness if you get this coronavirus. So let me inform you of some things. This is my political view. This is the third video on my view as a candidate. Some things you need to be looking into. We need to be looking into an ID 2020 alliance. They're talking about, basically, in layman's terms, seemingly, they're not going to flat out say it, but I'm going to just give you the truth. They're talking about knowing your whereabouts everywhere you are 24 hours a day. And they're saying this to help you to control your personality. Your personal ID. They're trying to say this, that, or the other. They're speaking of a time that it says in Revelation. Now, again, as a presidential candidate, I won't go into mix political and biblical stuff so much together, even though I am a preacher, not compromising in any means, form, or fashion. But there's a place and time for everything, is that correct? So, therefore, 2, look up Event 201. If you hadn't checked it out yet, you need to check it. Again, that's ID 2020 Alliance. Event 201. Look up Bill Gates and his wife foundation. Understand they fund the WHO, World Health Organization. They fund the CDC. Oh, they do? Yes, they fund. I found out who this Bill Gates is. I found out his little tree. History tree, that is. I told you I was going to find out, and I was going to come back to you and tell you. So I found out who this man is. It's all public knowledge, actually. It's out there. You just got to know what to look for and where to find it. So it's not a big conspiracy mystery, because people got this problem with conspiracy. No, it's public information. All you got to do is know what you're looking for and put in the right questions in order to get the information that you're trying to get. So, again, moving right along. Okay. He also funds the part of the United Nations. So he, not being a doctor, not being a scientist, not being anything in the medical field, but he has patents for a coronavirus vaccine. And his agenda is to depopulate the American people or the world. Because remember, they're trying to get, by 2030 now, they're trying to get a minimum, at best, 5 billion people on the face of the planet. Also, he also funds Planned Parenthood. His mother was, or his father, one of the two, was one of the pioneers or one of the ones that began funding Planned Parenthood. Abortions. Okay, so this man comes back from a whole long line of demons, of evil trolls that's trying to control the world. Part of the, if you will, New World Order. He even said out of his own mouth that they're looking for a New World Order. Now, I have 2 videos that I've actually downloaded, that words that came out of Bill Gates' mouth back in, I think it was, I want to say 85. Or, no, about 5 years ago. So you go back 5 years ago from today, somewhere in the 90s. Or early 2000. Somewhere in there. 2015, I believe it is. He said, and he was saying everything that is happening today. Things then that were for a future event. Have the video. I will send it to you. Secondly, he has another video, actually about a week or so ago, 10 minutes long, a little over 10 minutes long. And he repeats everything he said 5 years ago. He repeats it today, as in this time, the accomplishment of everything they were looking to do then. And he's talking about beyond, because in 2001, they're talking about another virus that is supposed to grip the world again. You see, this is their plan of depopulating the world until they get down to 5 billion people. Simply meaning they want to destroy 0.7% of the world's population. Well, we had 6.8, at least that's what they claim. We're at 6.8 billion people. Well, 0.7% of that is 5 million, or was it 5 billion? 5,700,000,000 people they want to exterminate. Majority of which are African Americans, Asians, and Latinos. Now, I put a statement out here on my Facebook page about more testing. And someone misjudged what I said when I said that. So I had to clear it up. Because being in a position of power, or in a position of becoming to power, is always on my mind. How can I help the American people, or how we can get ahead of this thing? One, you have 5G, which is totally using, I forgot what the man said, something megahertz, like triple the megahertz that you have now on your Wi-Fi or your cell phones. So you're talking about a massive level of radiation going through your cell phones or your Wi-Fi, or however they're using this power. And I haven't totally connected the dots as to how this 5G is connected with Bill Gates inventing the vaccines, and how it works to keep these people sick, or cause these people symptoms to escalate and they die. Quite haven't figured that part out. Or what this 5G has to do with ID 2020. There's also something out, I forgot what it is. Oh yes, a new gamer thing, E3 2021. I saw it, and that's something to mess with the minds of the young people, of the brainwash them with a whole new gaming system. They were supposed to come out this year, but because of coronavirus, they moved it to next year. Okay, that's for those of your young people that, you know how they are with games. This is a gaming world. Even now, young people, young adults, and even some older adults play games. This is another means to brainwash your mind in this whole new atmosphere. They're supposed to have this big, giant get-together convention or something that has to do with this whole new interactive gaming they're coming out with in 2021. Okay, that's part of all this, depopulating the world. Because if it messes with your mind, it destroys the mind. And it's all about fear. They make people believe that things are going to be worse, that we're just a mess, and they can literally, I hate to put it out there like this as a presidential candidate, kill you when they want to. That's what it looks like. And they have an agenda 2030. Look it up. I'm giving you all the information I ran across. I told you, in my administration, No more lies. No more hidden agendas. No more deception. No more sitting back lying to the American people. No more sitting back plotting to destroy the American people and the fiber, the backbone of this country for an agenda that they have in mind. Because they try to usher in NWO, New World Order. Why you think they're coming up with this ID 2020? Because they're trying to implement this thing. So in 2021, and they're making it sound like, or by the end of this year, or 2021, they're trying to make it sound like, to you and me, if you're not paying attention, make it sound like it's for us, it's that we have control of it. The government has no control. Is we have the control. We're the ones in control of our destiny or our identity. Well, first off, let's understand something. As long as you have a Social Security number out there, and it's always active as long as you're alive. So they say. My mom has passed. My dad has passed. My uncle has passed. My cousin has passed. Their Social Security number is on the black web. Or the black web. Dark web. Their Social Security number is out there for anybody up for grabs. Your Social Security number never, ever dies. It's just a number. It floats around in cyberspace. And basically, sometimes it's sold to the highest bidder. Sometimes. So does your Social Security number ever die? No, sir. So as long as your Social Security number is active because you're still alive, so it's, so active, simply meaning you're not in charge of your identity as you think you are. But they will have it make you believe that you are. This is where becoming president of the United States, we have to work harder on cyber attacks and on hackers and on all these people that threatens the American people and economy in hacking their information. You see, the problem with us as citizens, and I say that because I'm one right now, is that we're paying attention to one thing. Corona, COVID-19, Corona. Social distancing, mask, fines, whatever. Stir crazy. This is what we are focused on. And that's what they got us focused on. But there's still cyber attacks. There's still information being stolen. There's still businesses still going on in the soup. They're talking about your president, or if you want to call him that, says that if the benefit package care something, I forgot the name of it, but it's care something, was to be passed, I think it's another $2 trillion or $3 trillion, if the package is approved by the federal government or by the U.S. Treasury and sent through the House to be approved by him, he would not approve it if it has anything for the U.S. Postal Service. Wait a minute. Wait. You mean to tell me that your president is in the position of that much power that he could stop the U.S. Postal Service by simply not giving them some money to help them to stay afloat? Well, scratch my head. A couple of weeks ago, or they said as of the 9th of this month, that they were starting to send out stimulus checks. Baby, if the post office service closed down on the 15th of this month, which is very close, in a couple of days, or closed down by the end of this month, because they don't believe they have enough funds to take them into June. And they want some funds to carry them into the summer to renegotiate. This president is saying, hell no. He said, I ain't giving them none. Well, Think about this. If he shuts down the Postal Service, they'll let the Postal Service go under because there's no money to fund the Postal Service, and that's UPS, that's Postal Air or Ground, because that means everything that has anything to do with Postal will be shut down. Their flights and all that. Ground, all of it. Not enough money to function. That means your postal workers now will be out of jobs. Governmental jobs. Their own government won't fund a government entity to continue to function. That means your stimulus check, if it's in the mail, or if they didn't lie about that, they might be holding it back because they're saying, hey, what's the use to put all these checks in the mail and the Postal Service cannot deliver them? Because why? The Postal Service is no longer in functioning mode. So you don't get your check as they claim that they send it to you. You don't get your money because they can't send it to you. What is that? IRS do some direct deposit in your account or Social Security benefits if you have one of those cards. I forgot how they said they could do it either way, direct deposit or whatever, however they talking about. Or then some, they have to mail the checks because some people just don't have direct deposit. So that means the paper check coming your way. Well, if the mailman shuts it, if the government doesn't give them money to stay functioning, they cannot process those checks. And I can guarantee you he'll figure out a way how to keep the direct deposit from hitting your account too. Just a matter of time how to figure out how to do that. See, this president thinks he's in charge of the whole world. And he can do whatever he wants to do, when he wants to do it. He have a tizzy fit and everybody get in line and follow behind him because everybody seems to be kissing his butt and saying they're a yes man. I'm sorry. I won't kiss your nasty butt and I'm not a yes man. And if you work for me, I don't want nobody in my administration that's always a yes man. You got a brain like I do. You have a thought or maybe something that I'm overlooking. You better be talking to me. I may bump heads with you or I might not agree with it, but at least you tried to tell me or work with me with it. Get me to see what you're trying to say. Don't agree with everything I'm saying because I'm the president. Because I could be wrong. And remember, if I'm get out here and make a fool out of myself, I don't just make a fool out of you, out of myself. I'm making a fool out of my own party. I make a fool out of the Democrats or the Republicans. I make a fool out of the United States as a whole, the American people, and the country. And other countries going to see that I'm a living jackass or an idiot. Every country in the world is having problems, even our allies, having problems in believing should they continue to trust and follow this president because they caught him in so many lies. I told you, you'll never get a lie. You'll always get the truth. Now, there's certain things that a president cannot disclose due to national security. Now, I can't tell you if we got a bomb somewhere or we're going to blow up something. That's national security. You need to live your life as normal as it is. You don't need to know if there's a terrorist somewhere. That's my job. And if it's credible enough to say he's a threat to the United States. And if he or the group that is a threat to the United States, we take care of this, not you. You don't have to worry about it. Trust me, I will not send you in World War III when it's not necessary. And I won't go bombing countries because they don't agree with me. You don't have to agree with me. Better yet, we just don't do no business. You just lost money. And that could work both ways because if I've been doing business with you and all of a sudden I cut you off, that means whatever you were doing for me gets cut off with it. The problem now becomes how bad would that hurt the economy if I just cut you loose? You see, I'm not a businessman. Well, I am a businessman to a degree because I've had businesses. But beside the point, I'm not a tycoon or a billionaire, millionaire. I'm not even a thousandaire. Okay, come on, let's keep it real. Thousandaire. That's what I'm saying, the thousandaire? No. But anyway, I don't have thousands. But I got common sense. And I know how things supposed to work. Now, I might not know the little ins and outs and the clicks and in between. But that's why I hire good people that will sit there and says, yes, Mr. President, this is how it works. Show me. That people will sit there and say, let me explain this to you. I'm not going to sit back and all day long watching television, get my news from the Fox News and all these other things. I got better things to do than sit around and watch news. If you're running the country, I better get my news firsthand from my intelligence community. I better get it from the governments and contractors that are out there. I better get it from the White House itself. I better get it from my chief of staff. I better get it from the vice president if he knows something. I better get it from wherever the entity I need to get the news from. I don't need no secondhand mess. I need to know today, right now, right here. Let's talk about it. Let's figure this out. Game time is over. Because the American people is the most important thing there is as being a leader of the free world. It's the American people. And if the American people can't trust me and the American people don't follow me because they don't believe in me, then what the heck am I doing in the office behind an oval office, an oval table in the oval office, in a chair, trying to run a country that nobody trusts me? Who's the dummy? You follow? You're feeling me? Now, I know that sounds a little kind of, somebody said, that's a little ghetto. You feeling me? No, I'm just keeping it real with you. I keep it real. Yes. Do I know everything? I'll be the first president to tell you, I don't know everything. But if you ask me a question and I don't know about it, the next time we have a news release or before I come before the American people, your question will be the first question I address and say, remember the other day you asked me this question and I told you I didn't have the answer to it? Today I have an answer. You'll be the first one that before I make my little news, whatever I got to say to you, I'm going to address you and answer your question. So you know that I'm a president that keeps his word. Because when you get a president, think he knows everything, now you got a dictator in the office. Or complete. Now, I hate to use this derogatory word, idiot, but I'm not running. It's not really about politicking for me. It's not so much about who's going to vote. I would love to hear your votes, but if you don't, that's fine with me as well. I'm not here to mess your mind up and trying to get your votes because everybody else is trying to get your votes. Everybody want to hear something different. And I get it. We all want to hear at least something somewhere of some glimmer of hope or some ray of sunshine in all of this darkness. Now, I can't promise you, especially at this point anyway, that I know all the answers. I just know we have to get ahead of this thing somehow. I don't know how yet. Now, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a biologist. I'm not anybody's doctor, nothing. Have I had medical experience? Yes. As an EMT in my younger years, yes. But this being an EMT in my younger years have nothing to do with today's medicine and new technology and science. It's probably way obsolete. So I would not have no earthly idea if I went into a boardroom of fortified medical people and try to hang with them. I would look like, yeah, sir, son, just sit down. You know, just look nice. Don't say anything. See, the problem with Donald Trump, He's trying to look nice. But even every time he tries to look nice, he looks dumbfoundedly stupid. How is it you're going to let people run the country and you're running the country? Well, they're supposed to be running the country. Yes, get your information from important. They have important information that will help us all. Please, by all means, I give way, talk. I want you to, say what you have to say. Because it'll help me. It'll help the United States. It'll help the American people. But I'm not going to say I'm going to turn this over to so, and I'm going to go back in the other room and I'm going to work on a deal. Negro, are you serious right now? Really? That's not important, buddy. Human lives are. Now to bust everybody's bubble and I'm going. Dr. Somebody, there's two doctors that be on the CNN news all the time. Dr. CG, somebody. And the other guy, it's like the older kind of guy. And then you got the younger guy. I don't remember their names. I'm bad at names. So maybe I need to do more homework as far as names are concerned. So the next time I come on to my viewpoint, I'll have their names in my mouth. So, or a piece of paper, I'm going to be reading their names if I can't remember off the top of my head. They're part of the CDC or WHO. Okay? World Health Organization. Okay, you know who's funding this? Bill Gates. These two gentlemen I just mentioned, that gives us all this little background on COVID virus and what it's doing and the models and the numbers, how they go up and down and the curve and the spin and the yada yada you get every day on the news, whatever that may be. Just remember, please remember this if you don't remember nothing else. Those guys work for these organizations. These guys are paid by these organizations. And Bill Gates owns these organizations or highly funds these organizations. So that means he has a put in what they present to an American people because his money is involved. But, you say that again. So what are you trying to tell me? They are making vaccines to literally infect people? Yes. Wait a minute, wait. So what are you trying to say? They making this hydrochloroquine medication to do what? As a clinical trial or a test trial? There your question comes. And what does it do? Who knows? But they expect you and me to take that shot? Yes. Especially if you're African American. Say what? Yes, sir. You're kidding me, Negro? No, I'm not. Wait a minute. You're giving me a lot of information there. I want to say Mr. President, but I don't want to be too presumptuous. But you understand what I'm saying? See, I'll say what I want to say. It's not scripted. You don't see nothing on my table, so I don't have nothing in my face. I'm giving you everything I know. Well, most everything I know. You follow what I'm saying? No one's telling me what to say and how to say it. See, because they give you key words you can't say. But me, I say what I darn right pleased to say. Within reason and with tact and with taste. So no one gets offended by something I may say. And it's factual. It's informational. It's all out there. They couldn't hide that crap if they want to. And the problem is they put it in plain sight for you and I to see it, but we're so caught up on the effects of what's happening with this coronavirus and this this COVID-19 thing, and what they will do to you if you're caught outside your house without a mask, or if you're caught at places that, you're not supposed to be congregating, or you may not be nobody there, but just you're going to get a fine of $1,000 because they want you to stay at your house. They want you to stay quarantined. They want to keep you under some type of control. Now, I'm not saying anybody buck the system and disobey the law, and ain't nothing than that is not what I'm telling you to do. But you have to be informed as to why they're doing what they're doing. We got to get ahead of it somehow. I wish I had the answer, but I don't. Don't mean I'm not thinking. I'm doing my research. Not that I'm not gathering information, because I'm gathering information. Somewhere in my gathering, somewhere in the information I'm picking up, somewhere different doctors or different ones that are the furthest away from social media, the furthest away from these types of world organizations, or the CDC, or the FDA. Oh, by the way, he funds the FDA. Bill Gates. And from these funded charitable, if you will, I don't think they're charitable, non-profit organizations. Now, the Bill Gates Foundation is a non-profitable organization. He holds a 501c3. That crook holds a 501c3. How could it be a non-profitable organization? But anyway. See, they're playing with our minds, and they want us to believe that this is what we're supposed to do. See, as your commander-in-chief and president, I'm not going to let no entity come into the United States otherwise, whether you're already in the United States, if you're not part of a medical field, that proven track record that you know about clinical trials or testing of different vaccines and all types of things like this, I'm not hearing you. You can have a stockpile. Take that home and you eat them all for dinner. It won't be shipped among the American people or any other country if I have anything to say about it. I don't want to listen to that. I don't care how much money you got. Take your money back. I hate to say the word stealing. We've been stealing money from the Federal Reserve for years. You think I'm going to need your money to fund an organization when I can go to the Federal Reserve and say, hey, look, this is what we need? They're going to say, well, they just got $2 billion for the stimulus. They went back to the Federal Reserve. Now they're asking for another $3 trillion. They got $2 trillion. Now they're going back for another $3 trillion for something else. But they won't have U.S. Postal Service. Or else the president said, bump it. I ain't signing none. Like he's got a rattle in his hand. He's a big kid making a fuss because he can't get what he wants. You follow what I'm saying? Why would I need your money? And the Federal Reserve is right there, printing money every single day. Ain't got no value, but it's still printing. The gold that backs that money from the Federal Reserve is zero. They don't have no gold to back that money with. So it's just paper or cotton, because money's putting on cotton, not paper. It's just cotton, worthless piece of crap. Why you think they're trying to work a way that supposed to have a zero cash society? They want us to all now focus on the Bitcoin. Boy, I'm just giving you a whole lot today. All right, my name is Pastor George. I am running for president of the United States of America. And I'm just informing you on my own political views of what's happening around the world in America. and how we together should work to a resolution to all of these problems, that it doesn't reoccur in 2021. Now, something the President of the United States didn't pick up on, and haven't even heard even the governors from various states even picked up on or said anything about. But I'm going to say this. Now, I don't know how this is going to pan out. I wish I had some way of telling you how this is going to work out. I don't know. However, come on. Oh, excuse me, guys. My phone is acting really moody. Okay. I don't know how this is going to pan out. But if I'm elected or appointed President of the United States, the cleanup efforts after this is going to be phenomenal. It may be pretty much of a worldwide catastrophe. And it's going to get ugly before it ever gets better. I'm telling you that now. Whoever inherits the seat as president will have a mess on his hands. And he's going to need the American people to understand that he's only one man. And he's going to need his whole cabinet, the government, and he's going to need the American people to stand with him and help him through this crisis together to clean this mess up, to get everybody back to work. First, making sure that there is no more viruses. We finally flattened this thing. We finally got a handle on it. We finally know where everybody is. Right now, I don't mean tagging you anywhere, but we finally found a way to figure out where this virus could be, and that we keep it from going any further. That it doesn't re-affect anybody when the public, or should I say, the economy gets back into place and people do go back to work. But the efforts is not just getting the economy back up and getting people back to work and opening up new jobs and opening up the doors for more employment and working on higher wages and all of this. All this has got to constantly continue. But the efforts of cleaning up people who lost many loved ones. The efforts is to help the funeral homes conduct services, to continue to conduct their services, to help people to put their loved ones in the ground. Now, there may be a decision that have to be made later. I'm not going to mention it here. It's a thought that crossed my mind. It's a thought that I hope I don't have to ever get to, but it may turn out to be where this may be the only thing that makes sense to help us to move on. Okay? There's also threats of other countries waiting to attack us. So we as American people have to understand we have to be resilient, and we have to learn to rely on each other. I know you rely on your president and be held accountable for everything that happens in the United States. But even as though he's a servant of the people, he has to also be able to rely on the American people not to go crazy and to understand some decisions he has to make, whether it's favorable or not. But it's all for the better good. That we move on into 2021 and face what tomorrow brings together, united, in 2022 and so on and so forth. That we weed out all the undesirables, all the folks that just been tearing this country all apart, whether it's Republican or Democrats. If you haven't been helping this country, you know your service is no longer needed. The pandemic office is empty because Donald Trump fired every person that controls an office that handles pandemics. That office will be filled. There will be capable people in that office that will be eyeballing with the intelligent community and the trade community and every aspect as what's coming over the horizon And before it becomes newsworthy, the president will know firsthand if it's credible danger and what his next recourse is to protect the United States of America and the American people, period. If I got to shut it all down, every border surrounding the United States and it's what do you call it? Like Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands, that part of the United States. Shut the borders down to everything that pertains to the United States to protect the American people. Believe me, I'll shut it down so fast it ain't funny. Because we're not going through this again. No devil in hell going to turn this place upside down again. Soon we clear it up. And we start seeing the brighter day. We're going to reach out to our allies and countries that need help and help them to recover too. Because if we can't be the only continent on the face of the world that's healthy and flourishing, and I got my neighboring country, especially Canada and Mexico and all these other countries, and Puerto Rico, which is part of the United States, but anyway, and you got all these other countries that are sick to death, and we're sitting back, well, we did ours, y'all can take it from us and figure it out. No. That isn't how we run. The commander-in-chief is the president of the free world. Meaning, I know you may have your own presidents, you may have your own prime ministers, but they all look to the president of the United States for answers or for help in a time when they're struggling themselves, especially our allies. So again, we're not out of this. And the powers to be are going to continue to try to infect the American people. They want this to keep going. But how many of you know that no matter how much you try to affect us, how much you try to threaten us, how much time you try to make us feel that we are vulnerable, we are resilient, we are American people, and we will fight, and we will win together. God bless you guys, and have a wonderful Easter day. Don't forget to call somebody. You can't congregate, but you can call somebody and just see how they're doing. And just wish them a happy holiday. And for those of you of church members, you know what to do. Explain, if they're not saved, explain to them how can they be saved. Just to throw that in there. I'm sorry, it's prejudicial, but hey, I'm a pastor first. Just thought I'd throw that out there. God bless you guys. Love you so much. Again, be tuned for my next video, presidential video. My political views, number 4. See you soon.